Playing sports itself has very high demands on physical strength and physical condition, so he didn't want the schedule to affect his daughter's performance, so he bought this car to take her across the country. In Qin Gang's words, riding in this car is comfortable, stable, and safer, just like a mobile home. Even if you drive in the car for more than 10 or 20 hours, you will not feel the slightest fatigue. This ensures that his daughter always has an excellent competitive state. Stephen watched Charlie drink up the tea, and hurriedly refilled him respectfully, and asked diligently, "Master, don't know, are you satisfied with this tea?" Charlie nodded and smiled, and said, "Yes, Stephen, you should have learned this posture specifically? I didn't expect that a person of your personality would be able to bear the temper to study tea ceremony." The former Stephen was a rich second generation who didn't understand. Not only don't understand the shit, but also like to be arty, buy some shit stuff in the antique street all day long, and take it as a baby no matter what garbage. Even when the whole city came to Orus Hill to participate in the auction, he slid and slapped it against himself. Unexpectedly, this kid hasn't seen him for a while, his personality has really converged a lot, and he has become more sensible. Stephen heard Charlie praise him, and hurriedly explained with a blushing face, "Master, I used to be young and ignorant. I offended you. Please don't take it to your heart. My second uncle kept letting me be here. I honestly reflect on the family and let me learn the tea ceremony and cultivate my sentiment. Now I am not as impetuous as before." Charlie nodded and said, "Yes, people, one is afraid of irritability and second is afraid of drifting. If you can calm down and reflect on yourself, it proves that it is not as hopeless as before." Qin Gang smiled and said, "I told this kid a long time ago that if he doesn't change his character to me and twists his around, then his dad and I will lock him in the house for 10 years. I won't let him out for 8 years, so that he won't cause trouble for the Qin family. Fortunately, this kid is still a little conscious and can know how to return when he gets lost." While he was talking, Ao Shui ran and jumped into the car, saw her father and younger brother drinking tea with Master, and said with a smile, "Master, father, younger brother, you have been waiting for a long time. Let's hurry up." Qin Gang pointed to Ao Shui and smiled and said to Charlie, "Look, Master, when you are in front of this little girl, even her own father has to go back." Ao Shui said embarrassedly, "Oh, Dad, how can it be? People respect Master, and Master is our distinguished guest. I should first greet Master." Qin Gang smiled and said, "Look at you, I just state it, and there is no other opinion. What are you nervous about?" Ao Shui muttered, "How can I be nervous? Dad, you will talk nonsense." Qin Gang smiled with satisfaction. "Oh, well, Dad is talking nonsense. Come, sit down next to Master, let the driver drive, let's go home for dinner." Ao Shui hurriedly blushed, and sat down next to Charlie. At this time, the driver started the RV and drove slowly away from the stadium parking lot. The Qin's villa is not in the city center, but in the outskirts, next to the Orus Hill Reservoir. Orus Hill Reservoir is a large lake on the outskirts of Orus Hill, and it is also the main source of water for the entire city. The villa is built on the edge of Orus Hill Reservoir. It can be said that Orus Hill Reservoir is regarded as a super-large artificial lake in its own community, so the environment is quite good, which is by no means comparable to the villa area in the city. The Qin family's villa here has been bought many years ago, and Qin Gang had a vision at the beginning. When the city hadn't issued a document management to restrict the renovation and reconstruction of the villa area, he bought 2 villas directly, and then transferred the 2 villas and merged them together. Moreover, his 2 villas are close to the lake, and when you open the door every day, there are clear water and the green environment of birds and flowers. It is really a great pleasure. The courtyard of the Qin's villa is huge. Even this kind of RV can park 7 or 8 cars without any problems. After the car stopped in the yard, Ao Shui hurriedly said to Charlie, "Master, I will take you to the small pier by the lake. I have a speedboat, just to take you for a ride in the lake." Charlie didn't expect Ao Shui to have a speedboat here. Seeing her eagerly, he smiled and said, "Okay, let's take a look with you, but how about your driving skills? You won't throw me into the lake, right?" Ao Shui blushed and said shyly, How come, master? My technique is very stable, don't worry. Even if you really fall into the lake, I can save you. Stephen hurriedly said, Sister, take me, I want to go. Stephen is not Aushway's own brother, the two are just cousins, so he doesn't usually live in this villa, but occasionally comes as a guest. So when he heard Aushway say that she was going to go on a boat ride, he couldn't help but feel a little itchy. Aushway glared at him, and said, Where are you going? Why are you everywhere? Stephen curled his lips aggrievedly and wanted to say something. Chin Gang on the side said to him, Stephen, you come with me, I have something to tell you. When Stephen saw that his second uncle said this, he did not dare to say anything more, at least honestly nodded and said, Okay, second uncle. Here, Aushway took Charlie's arm affectionately, and said, Master, let's go and enjoy the scene for a while, otherwise it's time to eat after a while. Charlie nodded and went to the lake with her. At this time, Chin Gang whispered to Stephen, You kid, you've been honest during this period of time. Why don't you have any vision? Stephen asked aggrieved, Second uncle, what happened to me? Am I not quite honest?